Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the United Community Channel. And we are back, as you know, with another transfer talk show. It's a Friday night, and we have plenty to talk about as usual. Plenty of updates with Manchester United, plenty of updates in relation to players in, plenty of updates in relation to players out. Plenty to talk about. So, obviously, the main one is we've been linked, as you all know, with a new striker, 19-year-old striker from RB Salzburg. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo and updates that we have there as well. We're going to talk about Anthony and a potential move, and maybe a price has been set for him as well. So we're going to talk about that. Plenty more to talk about in relation to outgoings then as well. Obviously, right back has been an issue and an area that we're looking at maybe improving. There has been talks about a potential outgoings in relation to that area as well. So we're going to talk about that. Plenty to talk about. So it's great to see everyone in. Shamar's in, I see you there already. Plenty of people in on TikTok as well. So yeah, I mean, let's get into it. I mean, obviously we're going to start with the striker situation in relation to Manchester United. And of course, we do know in the past few days, I suppose in the last maybe 24 hours even, the main talk has been around Benjamin Sesko from RB Salzburg and a potential transfer to Manchester United. Now, reports have suggested that we have been looking at this player for over 12 months, and it's not a new maybe approach, but you know, in relation to the last maybe 24 hours or so, Manchester United and Ten Hag specifically have given the go ahead for it. So look, I mean, what do we think about him? I suppose the main reason why he's on everyone's, I suppose, mind the last maybe couple of days is his performance against Liverpool a couple of days ago, which was, look, I know it's pre-season, so we're not going to get too carried away, but he had an absolutely fantastic performance against Liverpool. Scored a goal, looked very good, looked sharp, looked hungry, looked dangerous. His link-up play, I thought, was brilliant. Now, again, look, I just seen the highlights of it, so like we said, we're not going to get too carried away. But look, he does look like a very good player, and I mean, I'm all for it. I really am. As we know, and we've discussed in previous, lives and previous content that I've done, I mean, he does look like a very good player. He really does. Now, look, 19 years of age. If he does come in, is he going to play an awful lot? I think he will play good games. I think he'll get a lot of game time if we do get him. I think a lot hinges on the fact and the possibility of Cristiano Ronaldo staying. I don't think that's going to drastically change his game time if we do sign him. But I certainly do think that he would be a very good and a very worthwhile addition to the Manchester United squad. So I'm all for it. I think in relation to, there has been a lot of contrast and reports in relation to how much we could potentially pay for him. And, it's been suggested, now this is coming from James Ducker in the Telegraph, and we know James Ducker is one of the I suppose the most reliable source when it comes to Manchester United news, but he does say that Salzburg are reported to want at least £55 million to consider a sale, and of course that's far more than Manchester United are willing to pay. Now, Salzburg's stance on this is that they want to keep him for one more season, and they want to sell him next season. So that in turn is going to add, as we all know, an extra price onto him. Now, it's also going to, and we always know in relation to Manchester United potential transfers, that when Manchester United come knocking, you can add another 20 million onto it easily. So obviously I do think 55 million for a 19-year-old Austrian league player is way too much. It is way too much. And a lot of people I've been saying, or I've heard saying, we shouldn't be spending that much. We need to concentrate on other signings, when it comes to, a player of his stature, and we need to get more players in, and it's about quantity, and I do agree with a lot of them points. I absolutely do. But what I would say in relation to that as well is that we haven't spent an awful lot this transfer window. We've spent 15 million on Malacia as a left full. We've got Ericsson for free. Now we have spent 55 million on Lisandro Martinez. But if we were looking potentially at the amounts that Manchester United were looking to spend this summer, at the start of the transfer window, we were quoted right off the bat that there's up to 150 million. So we're looking at the bones of 100 million left to spend. Now, 55 million for a player of his stature, I still think is too much. I really do. But look, I think he's a very good player. I think maybe this could potentially be a tactic from Salzburg, like any club. And in fairness to any club, if they don't want to sell a player, they're going to put a high price tag on him. Whether that fends off, interest for the player, good night. Whether that fends off interest for the player is one thing. But I think if we can negotiate a better deal for him, I think anywhere between 30 and 40 million, I think would be a decent price to pay for him, But look, I certainly do think he's a good player. I think he would be a very good addition. And as we've said before, it's an area of the field that Manchester United are particularly, I wouldn't say weak in, but maybe thin in, where we don't have good depth in our attacking options. You look at the likes of, established players there at the moment. Obviously, Ronaldo, Sancho, Rashford and Martial. Now, obviously, look, Elanga is there as well. He's only had one real season playing in the first team squad, so I wouldn't put him into that category yet. So I do think it is important that we strengthen that area of the squad, but I think we are going to need some good negotiation skills, and because I think 55 million would be too much for him. Look, these are just area reports, but it has picked up in the last maybe 24 to 48 hours or so in relation to stories coming out about him. It has been stated as well that Manchester United representatives did meet with his representatives on, it was either Wednesday gone or the previous Wednesday. So Manchester United have moved quick on him, in fairness. There doesn't seem to be too much opposition in relation to other teams going in for him either, which is always good as well, because then you don't want to get into a bidding war with another team as well. But look, I'm all for it. I really am. I think he'd be a very good addition. We're getting him at a good age, and he's already established as a first-team regular with RB Salzburg. So, and we know these these Red Bull teams their whole football model is to get players in young, develop them and sell them on as a profit. And they're very good at finding young, hungry talent. And Ralph Rangnick was a big part of that when he was, at them clubs as well. So, look, I'm all for it. I really am. I think he'd be a great signing, and I do hope we can get it over the line as quickly as possible, because, like I said, we are short in them areas. Let's see what people are saying. Great to see so many people in, guys. Please smash a like on the video as well if you haven't done so already. It helps the channel out an awful lot. Let's see what people are saying here. Shamar's in. Good to see you, man. Anthony is in as well. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Hi to all the viewers. Barry is in as well. Zaki says, do you remember when Berbatov, Tevez, Rooney and Ronaldo ripped teams up? We don't have a single striker with the hack. Yep. But let's try and keep it in the here and now. Mikey is in as well and says, I always look forward to watching the transfer show on Sky Sports. Same with this show, top man. I appreciate it, Mikey. Thanks for the kind words. You're more than welcome. What do you think about our number 9 with his injury records? Our number 9 being Cottle is in as well. Good to see you, Cottle. And plenty of people in on TikTok as well. Let's just scroll back here and see what some people are saying. Let's see. I reckon Ronaldo will say, says Nacho. James says, tomorrow will be the perfect test for the start of the season. I agree with you, and we'll get into that as well. The squad has been announced. Some interesting, I suppose, additions and people being left out as well. So we'll get into that as well. Donica says, Roy Keane coming out of retirement. Wouldn't you love it? Wouldn't you love a prime Roy Keane now? United need to get the checkbook out. Their embarrassment at the moment, says Silent Majority. Andrew is in, says, hi mate, good to see you. CR7 stay, yes or no? I think he will stay. We're going to get into Cristiano Ronaldo in a moment. But it's a toss of a kind at the moment. Really, it really is with Cristiano Ronaldo. But let's see what happens. What do you think of people burning Ronaldo's shirt? I'm against that completely. Regardless of whether the man wants to leave the club or not, he will still and always will go down as a legend, of our club. You have a lovely setup, says Joe. Appreciate it, Joe. Thanks a million, man. Hope United put a bid in for Ruben Neves of Wolves, says Andrew. Yeah, he would be a great player, absolutely. We've discussed him an awful lot on our lives previously. Let's see what other people are saying here. What's happening with Greenwood? No updates on Greenwood, so we won't be discussing that. Any updates on Ronaldo? So let's get into Ronaldo, I suppose, and let's just see who's in here as well. Cottle is in, the Lost Poet is in. I take him all day, looks like a monster. Absolutely, I agree with you there. And Cottle says, thoughts on the squad travelling to the Atletico game? Yep, we're going to get into that as well. Martinez and Ericsson are in. Who's the new captain, says Shamar? Well, as far as I'm aware, it's still Harry Maguire anyway. But look, let's get into Ronaldo. And obviously, we all know Cristiano Ronaldo is looking to leave Manchester United. And, he had talks with Ten Hag and the hierarchy a few days ago. They didn't work in the relation to persuading Cristiano Ronaldo to stay. He does still want to go. Now, let me say first and foremost, I do think if Cristiano Ronaldo stays, he will be very professional. He'll put his head down, he'll work hard, and he'll try his best for the team. Absolutely. So let's knock that in the head straight away. But he does still want to leave. There has been, in the last maybe 24 hours or so, there's been 2 suitors mentioned. Obviously, the Atletico Madrid connection has dissipated. They've distanced themselves from it and they've come out and said, we don't want to sign him. Obviously, I'd say that comes on the back of the supporters trust coming out and saying they won't accept him, even if Atletico do want to sign him. But I suppose the 2 main connections that we're looking at the moment now, first and foremost, is Sporting Lisbon and the chance of him going back there. And it has been suggested Cristiano Ronaldo to Sporting is a hypothesis that is taking place slowly given many contacts between Jorge Mendes and Sporting's management. Ronaldo has already said yes to a move this morning, but the negotiations remain complicated. The parties are at work. Okay, so again, interesting there. And the second option for him that it's looking like at the moment is sources understand that Italian club Napoli are interested in signing Cristiano Ronaldo also. Okay, so I mean, look, if we break this down into its nucleus and say, right, what's going on here? Why does he want to leave? He's not going to win a league with Napoli in Serie A. He may potentially win one in the Portuguese league, but does he really count that? Basically, it comes down to Ronaldo wants to be in the Champions League to score goals. And I think the main reason for that is, and it can be viewed as a very selfish standpoint, that he wants to be the all-time leading goal scorer in the Champions League in history. And let me just plug my phone in to charge here. Apologies now. So I think he's worried. I think Cristiano Ronaldo is worried big time about Lionel Messi and the fact that he, obviously is a few years younger than Ronaldo and could potentially get closer and, potentially overtake him in terms of the highest goal scorer in Champions League history. I think that's the only reason Cristiano Ronaldo wants to leave. I don't think he wants to leave for any other reason. And, like we were saying when the Atletico Madrid links were there, okay, why would he want to go to Atletico? He's not going to win a league with them. He's not going to win the Champions League with them. And he's probably going to play a more attractive football with Manchester United under Ten Hag than he would for Atletico under Diego Simeone, because it's the most negative style of play in the history of the game that Simeone plays. So it all comes down to he wants to score goals, and he wants to score goals in the Champions League to cement his place as the greatest goal scorer in the history of the competition. That's basically it. Manchester United, in fairness to them, are holding firm and saying, we don't want to, we're not selling him, he's not for sale. So I still think that I think deep down, Manchester United are open. I think Ten Hag specifically is open to maybe letting him go. I think this is a distraction that Manchester United don't need, and Ten Hag certainly doesn't want. If Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't get his move away from Manchester United, what kind of atmosphere is he going to bring into the dressing room in relation to someone who doesn't want to play, who doesn't want to stay at the club? I don't think it's going to be healthy. I really don't. That doesn't mean he's going to go. And again, and I've said it on all of my lives and any content I put out there about Cristiano Ronaldo potentially leaving, I'm quite calm on the situation. I really am. If he leaves, it's not the end of the world, because we're only going to get one more season out of him anyway, and we're looking long term with Ten Hag. If he stays, I think he'll be professional like he always is. He's probably the most professional player, one of the most professional players in the history of the game. So, I think he will add goals to our team in the upcoming season, absolutely, because that's what he does. So I'm quite calm on the whole situation. I think it's a good segue into the fact that we're looking to sign this young player, Benjamin Sesko. Would I like Cristiano Ronaldo to stay along with signing him? Absolutely, because I think it can only benefit that young player having a player like Cristiano Ronaldo to look at and to learn from in every game and in every training session. So look, I'm quite calm on the whole situation. I really am. Let's see what people are saying here. I can't wait to see Martinez, says Zaki. And Shamar says, you're the best and I enjoy this. I'm happy you enjoy it, Shamar. Thanks a lot. Mikey says, dead right there, Messi could bang in goals for PSG this year. Albi is in, good to see you, Albi. Well, Jack, how's things? You think Ronnie would take more than half a pay cut to go back to sporting with himself? Ten Hag wants him gone, you're right. Yeah, I agree, absolutely. And John is in and says, get Sesko, the kid could be a world beater. If Ronnie wants to go that bad, let him go. No use keeping players that don't want to be there. Absolutely, John, I agree with you there, 100%. I really do. But then it comes back to what I said as well, that if he does stay, I think he'll be professional. I think he'll work hard and for the team and score goals like he always does. So that's why I'm quite calm on the whole situation. Cottle says, why is Ronaldo so serious about this Champions League goal scoring record? Well, I just think it's his mentality. He wants to finish, and he wants to be seen as one of the greatest players in history. He wants these accolades as the greatest goal scorer. I think it basically is down to him and Messi. I can't see... Now, look, we don't know, in 10, 15 years' time, we could talk about Haaland, maybe smashing Ronaldo and Messi's record. But I think he certainly wants to be up there and in contention with being the highest goal scorer in the history of the competition. And it's just the way he's wired. Mikey says, that's why he said he should bring in goals. Didn't say he wouldn't. Okay, so that's in between yourselves, guys. Let's see what people on TikTok are saying. Please keep smashing that like button for us as well, guys. Anyone watching on YouTube, please do hit the like button. As you can see, anyone watching on TikTok as well, if you want the full experience, go over to our live on YouTube. We're live there as well. Link is on my homepage. There's a link tree on my homepage on TikTok, so you can get all my links there. Anyone watching on YouTube as well, please hit the subscribe button. We're closing in on 1,000 subscribers. I think we're 20 away before we hit this live, so if there's anyone that hasn't subscribed yet on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. Our aim was to get to 1,000 subscribers before the start of the season, so I reckon we're going to do it. But yeah, please do that if you haven't already done so. You'll see as well on YouTube we have our link tree up, so you can scan the QR code on the YouTube channel and it'll bring you to our link tree. You can follow us on all of our platforms as well. Let's see what people are saying here on TikTok. Owen says, how many more signings do you think we'll actually make? Well, I suppose getting on to that, Owen, Ten Hag, according to reports, has come out and said he wants 4 more signings in before the end of the transfer window, which I think is about right. I really do. I was saying maybe 3 at a minimum, and I think we need a right back, of course. If we're looking at potentially getting Frankie de Jong done before the end of the transfer window, then I'm all for that. This young lad Sesko would be the 3rd, and then potentially either a CDM or Anthony from Ajax. So that would be the 4. I think if we can get a right back in or a CDM, I would take either one of them two, right back or CDM. Anthony De Jong, and this young Sesko, them 4 signings, I think it would, on top of the 3 we already have, I think it would be a good transfer window from us. Is it going to get us back up to the heights to challenge them for a league title? Absolutely not. But we knew this, lads, before, the transfer window even started, that this is going to be a long process. It's going to be 2 transfer windows. It's going to be 3 transfer windows. It's going to be 4 transfer windows, before Ten Hag can mould this squad and get players in and improve the players he already has before we can potentially go and look at, challenge for a league. Or we need to establish ourselves as a top 4 team first. And I think if we can get them 4 signings in on top of the 3 we already have, I think it'll give us a good platform to go and get top 4 this season. But if we don't, I think we'll struggle. I really do. Ronaldo has embarrassed himself. Thinks he's the toy every child wants for Christmas. He's not the player he once was, and his wages are too much, even on a 30% pay cut. Well, look, I agree with you in certain ways there, Alex. I certainly do. He's not the player he once was, but he's still a very good footballer. He scored 24 goals last season in all competitions in the poorest Manchester United side in living memory. So if we can put good players around him in the transfer window this summer, I could see him easily getting 25 goals again next season. Easily. So it's not something I would instantly throw away. I do think he's doing this not out of disrespect to Manchester United, but out of his own goals and his own ambitions, So, but yeah, I certainly understand what you're saying. Anything about Dybala, says Sharma. He's after signing for Roma. He signed a 4-year deal for Roma, so Jose Mourinho bought him. Lost Poet says, really shows the damage Ole did when we were talking about 6 players and not challenge such a bad coach. Well, look, I agree. Look, I think Solskjaer was the wrong. Even in now, I know I wasn't creating content when Solskjaer first took over as interim boss, but I was saying to some of my friends, when we'd be talking about it, I didn't think he was the right man for the job. Even when we had that unbelievable spell of unbeaten games, before he got the job officially, and that night in Paris then as well, I was still saying to myself, he's not the right man for the job. He isn't. But I think we are. I agree with you there. I think we are kind of seeing the aftermath of that now. Absolutely. John says, great show. Thanks for good work. No problem, John. I really appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining. Albie says, Barca back from tour now this week. We need to give them a deadline now or we have to move on. I think a week. What do you reckon? I never thought I wanted to come and I still don't. Well, look, I've said that from day one, Albie, and I absolutely agree with you. I think this De Jong saga has to come to some bit of a conclusion this week or say a week or maybe 2 weeks time, because like you said, they are back from pre-season tour now in the next 3 or 4 days, and I just hope that Manchester United do have the balls to say to Barcelona, no, this is the deadline. If you do not get him out of the club by then, we're gone, because we have to move on to other signings. So that's what I hope, but I absolutely agree with you. Zaki says, if he stays, we'll win the Europa League. Alex says, controversial, don't think he's a great player now. He can be horrible for 89 minutes, score a tap-in, and he's the GOAT. Overrated last season. Well, I think, look, I know what you're saying, Alex, about Ronaldo, and I really do, but I thought what he done last season is what we were lacking for a long time. And he can get tap-ins, but tap-ins are good goals to get, because you saw with the likes of Rashford, Martial, I think Cavani was the closest one to do it to Ronaldo, is that 6-yard box striker that gets them tap-ins, that sniffs out the areas to be in, to get them goals, I think is vital for a team. I think Aguero was a master at. Look at Ruud van Nistelrooy, if we go all the way back, to the 2000s. I think he only scored 2 goals outside of the box for Manchester United, and every other goal was scored sniffing out goals inside the box. I totally get your point, absolutely. But I do think that, them goals are very important as well, absolutely. Robert says, Ronnie knew we were not playing Champions League in May. The timing is crap. Let him buy himself out a next year's contract and let him go. Well, look, I agree with you there. I thought the Martin, thanks for the gift on TikTok. I appreciate it. I do think the timing was pretty poor, I have to say, and especially when we're in the market for other players. They hear Ronaldo doesn't want to stay. It's not going to help. But anyway, it's Friday. Cheers, everybody. Little glass of red wine on a Friday. We relax on our Friday transfer talk show. We kick back. We enjoy ourselves. So, and it's red wine. Why is it red? Because it's Sport Man United. The last post says they owe him 17 million in wages. I'd stay myself. Absolutely. I wouldn't be going anywhere if they owed me 17 million. I'd be there till I was 70 until I got it. Sharma says, I have to leave now. How long are you on for? I'll be on for another maybe 20, 25 minutes or so. Cottle says, this De Jong saga could go on until deadline day. Absolutely, Cottle, I agree. It could go on till deadline day. But again, in the long scheme of things, like we've said previously, and a lot of people have agreed as well, that in the long scheme of things, this 4, 5, 6 year plan that we have for Ten Hag, if we get De Jong tomorrow or we get him in 3 weeks' time, I'll take him anytime. I will take De Jong anytime. I just hope we don't get caught with our pants down and we don't, give Barcelona a deadline, because we need to look at other options if he doesn't come, Now, let's see what people are saying on TikTok. We need De Jong this season, says Albi on TikTok. Ibrahim is in and says, hello, good to see you, Ibrahim. Thanks for joining us. Liverpool trophyless season incoming, says Dale. Well, wouldn't that be great? Andrew says United need to put a bid in for Griezmann, someone who can score goals. Well, look, I don't know. I mean, look, Griezmann is a good player. He is a good player, absolutely. I would worry about signings like that coming to Manchester United. Are they coming because they want to play for Manchester United, or are they coming for a paycheck? So I'm always wary about things like that. But look, I wouldn't turn him down. If he was hungry to play for Manchester United and the money was right and we weren't overpaying him, maybe on a short-term contract, absolutely. Alex says, yeah, but before he left for Real, he was good. Positionally in build-up play, could progress with the ball and fast. He is now he's a goal scorer. He hasn't worked without technical players. Well, look, I agree with you, Alex. Absolutely. And look, time catches everybody. You don't, and you see, when he got into his 30s, he was very smart. And I think when he was with, it was Zidane he was with at the time. Zidane or his late 20s even, Zidane turned him into more of a striker than a winger than he was at Manchester United, and that allowed him to kick on and get all of them goals. But I absolutely agree with you. Martin says, I don't think it'll be done. We have done all we can now. It's up to Barca now for De Jong. Yeah, I agree. It is. But I think it always was. I think it was always down to Barcelona and De Jong and working out their differences. The offer has been accepted from Manchester United by Barcelona. So, it's been that between Barcelona and De Jong for the last 2 or 3 weeks and longer over this 17 million that he's owed, Martin says, Eric Ten Hag says he wants 3 more. I do think we'll get them too. Well, I hope so. I absolutely do. If we can move as fast as we've been moving already on this Sesko, there's one. Anthony is going to be hard because the Ajax are trying to price him out of a move because they don't want to sell him. And that's well within their right, absolutely. But, De Jong is going to drag on as well. So, I think we do need to have other options, absolutely. C.S. Mullen says there's always the January transfer window. Well, look, I agree with you on that in some contexts. It's always hard to sign players in the January transfer window, historically, down through the years. Because, clubs don't want to lose players halfway through the season. Because it's so hard to get players, it's hard for clubs to actually sell players then as well. So it's kind of a trickle-down effect. Nelvis is in from Ghana. Great to see you. Team United. Thanks for joining us. Good pre-season is what Rashford needed, says Kieran. Absolutely, Kieran. And I think he did have a good pre-season. I've seen a lot of clips of Manchester United training in the last few weeks, and he seems to be, back with a smile on his face. If he can bring that into games, absolutely. I think, and I hope he does have a good season. The King is back and playing Sunday according to his Instagram. Yeah, it looks like he is involved for Sunday's game in Manchester, which is great. And anyone who's new to either TikTok or YouTube, make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel, because we do have a busy weekend ahead. We're doing our watch along tomorrow for the Atletico Madrid game, and we're also doing the watch along for Sunday's game as well. So make sure you're subscribing to the channel, and so you don't miss out. Let's see what people are saying here. Cottle says, if we end up without De Jong, it'll be a huge embarrassment to the club. I agree, Cottle. Zaki says, Martinez is the best signing, bro. It will start tomorrow. Yeah, absolutely. I think he's been a brilliant signing. Best signing so far. I agree with you there. Alex says, when he got knee injury in 2014, it ruined him a bit of him. He turned into a striker, so you can't blame him. As his wife's documentary said, he still plays with a faulty knee. And Mikey says, I couldn't see it happening, and he won't leave Spurs this year because it looks like they're going in the right direction. But I would love Kane for a few years. Oh, look, Kane would be a great signing, absolutely. But no, look, I mean, the fact that he didn't get a transfer last year and Conte is in and they're actually investing money into the squad, I think he's not going anywhere. But I agree with you. Ladipo says, hi bro, just joined the channel now. Thanks, you're more than welcome. Which player is the closest to joining Man United presently? Which other players are we looking to sign as well? Thanks. Well, you would have to say the closest signing is this young player Sesko, because and I know we've only been linked with him a couple of days, but according to reports, we've been looking at him for a good few months now. So I would say that's probably the closest, because the Antony deal is dragging on, the De Jong deal is dragging on, and we're still in the market for a right back, and we haven't been overly linked to anyone yet. So I would say Šeško. Cottle says, will you be doing a Community Shield watch along tomorrow? I won't, Cottle. Is it tomorrow or Sunday? I won't be doing it because I can't do 2 days in a row. I have my daughter to mind as well. So so she's going over to her granny and granddad's for a few hours while I do the Manchester United watch along. So I can't do one for that as well. But yeah, I mean, who cares? It's only Man City and Liverpool, ain't it? Baby Jet says, sell Ronaldo. We want to watch him play Champions League. Okay. CS Mullen says, do you think Martial will be a starting player for the team? Well, I certainly think Martial is going to start the first few games of the league. I really do, and I think he should, because he's had a very good preseason. He's worked very hard. He looks lean. He looks fit, and he deserves that start after the preseason he's had. So I certainly think he should be the one that leads the line in the first few games. Jamu says, any updates on Greenwood? No updates on Greenwood. Let's see what other people are saying here. We'll scroll back a bit. Joe says, we need Antony and De Jong done ASAP. And Andrew says, do you think Harry should be captain, or should Bruno have the captain's armband? Look, it's something that I'm not overly concerned about. I'm not. I think Harry Maguire got an awful lot of the brunt last year in a terrible season because he was the captain. Now, don't get me wrong, he did have a very poor season. But look, I'm under no illusions that if we go out and we have a good season, we play good football, attacking, attractive football, get some good results, get into the top four, the captaincy will be the last thing on our minds. It really won't. You know what I mean? So I'm not too worried about it. I'm really not. But yeah, smash a like on the video, guys, as well. We have nearly 80 people watching on YouTube and only 13 likes. So if you could just take a quick second, hit that like button for me, I'd really appreciate it. We'll try and get to maybe 50 likes before the end of the live. It helps out the channel a ton, gets us out to more people and grows the channel. So if you do have a second and you're watching on YouTube, just take a second, hit that like button for us. It's free to do. So I'd really appreciate it. And hit subscribe as well if you haven't already done so. We're very, very close to 1,000 subscribers. If we haven't already hit it already, I'm not too sure. And as well, people on TikTok, we're 3,500 likes as well. So keep tapping that screen. Let's try to get to maybe 10,000 before the end of the live. And I cheers you with my glass of wine. But yeah, I suppose let's get on to Antony. Okay, Antony is the De Jong squared of the transfer window in terms of how long it's dragging on for. But it's been reported again, Fabrizio Romano has been talking about today, and he has been told that the price tag is 80 to 85 million euro for Antony. At the moment, there is a big gap in valuation between both Ajax and Manchester United. The player and his agents are pushing to find a solution, and that it's a dream for Antony to join the Premier League, and Ajax will fight to keep him. So again, look, I think this Antony saga is going to drag on as well. I really do think it will. You know, I mean, look, if we're going to spend 60 million on De Jong, 70 million on De Jong, 80 million on Antony, and 55 million on, well, you'd be hoping around 40 million. You're looking at 150 million there. So that does go above the 150 million that we were quoted with. Now, and reports after that have suggested that Manchester United do have more than 150 million to spend. So I do think we'll get a number of these deals over the line. I think obviously Manchester United are digging their heels in, and in a way I'm kind of not happy, but in a way I respect them for doing it, because for too long we've been used in the transfer market and we've been taken advantage of because of who we are, and they know we're looking and desperate to get back to the top. So they'll stick an extra 20 million on, you know. So especially when it comes to the likes of De Jong, I mean, that deal is basically done with Barcelona. It's just between Barcelona and De Jong now to sort their differences out. Antony is the big one in terms of a price tag. 85 million euro is an awful lot to be paying for an Eredivisie player. I don't care how good you are. 85 million is an awful lot. And again, this young lad Sesko from RB Salzburg, you know, United being quoted at 55 million, I think is too much. Anywhere between 30 and 40 million, I think would be a good deal. So if we could get Antony for 70 million, okay, even less, 65 million, get say Sesko for 35 million, that would be 100 million, and then get De Jong for the 70 that, you know, Barcelona are looking at, then, you know, I'd be happy with that. Now again, these amounts are not all going to have to be paid off in one go. You know, it can be staggered payments. You know, we'll give you 50 up front and then we'll give you 30 over 2 years or whatever it is. So, yeah, look, I just hope we can get it over the line. Look, I do think Antony is going to drag on as well. I really do, because Ajax are digging their heels in, and they have every right to. You know, their season is starting next week as well, and they're going to lose one of their top players a week before the season starts. So they have every right to put a premium on the player. Absolutely. Let's see what people are saying here. Zaki says, bro, you are the coolest Man United fan and YouTuber. Wish you all the best. I appreciate it, Zaki. Thanks a mil. You're more than welcome. Thanks for joining us. But yeah, keep smashing that like button for us as well, guys. Anyone on YouTube, please hit the like button. It helps out the channel a ton. Yeah, so that's Antony. We've had some maybe updates in relation to outgoings. Now, there hasn't been any outgoings as of yet, really. But again, reports have been, and it has been suggested by Samuel Luckhurst, that Aaron Wan-Bissaka is one of 6 defenders available for transfer this summer, with Eric Bailly, Axel Tuanzebe, Phil Jones, Brandon Williams and Alex Telles. Okay, so obviously we heard reports early on in the transfer window about Wan-Bissaka and the fact that Crystal Palace were interested in him and potentially bringing him on loan. Now, I'm not for a loan move. You know, I hate these loan moves. But the only reason these loan moves exist is because the previous regime at Manchester United have given these players massive wages. So when a lower tiered club comes in to try and buy one of these players, they can't afford the wages, because players are not prepared to drop their wages. They'll just stay and pick up a check. But I do hope we can sell more so than loan, you know. In relation to Alex Telles, there has been reports, again, only in the last maybe hour or so, that there has been, I wrote it down here, that there is teams in both the French league and the Spanish league interested in Alex Telles. So, look, I think he'll go. I think the writing is on the wall for him. I don't think he's on massive money with Manchester United anyway. So I do think he could be one that will go pretty smoothly and pretty easily, because obviously we bought Malacia in, and it looks like it's going to be him and Luke Shaw vying for the left back position. In relation to Brandon Williams, I think he could potentially go as well. I do like him. I have to say, I do have a soft spot for him. I think he's a good player. I love his hunger, his desire, and all that kind of stuff. But again, look, the manager knows best, and I'm all for that. Like I've said countless times, if the manager decides to buy someone or let someone go, I'm all for it, because I trust him, so, I mean, Eric Bailly has been linked with Roma. It looks like Jose Mourinho wants to be reunited with him again. Obviously, Jose Mourinho was the one to bring him to Manchester United. So, but according to reports as well, they have suggested that Bailly wants to maybe stay and fight for his place. It's just he's just too injury prone. I think if he could stay fit, I think he would have a good chance of getting into the starting 11. But I just think he's too injury prone. And of course, Phil Jones. Jesus Christ, Phil Jones. He's still there. I mean, that man is robbing a living. Absolutely robbing a living. But look, I mean, if Phil Jones doesn't go this summer, I just, it says a lot more about him than it does about the club, because it's pretty sure that he's just staying there for a paycheck. He's not going to get anywhere near the starting 11 this year. He's not even going to get into a squad. I would be surprised if he did. So, I'd be surprised if he's there again next season. I really would. So let's get on to the pre-season friendly, which we have tomorrow against Atletico Madrid, and it's on in Oslo. And it's been announced in the last, let me see, it was announced just after, it was around 4 o'clock, it was announced the squad travelling. David De Gea, Heaton, Kovar, Dalot, Laird, Lindelof, Maguire, Malacia, Martinez, Tellez, Eriksson, Fernandez, Fred, Garner, McTominay, Pellistri, Van de Beek, Elanga, Martial, Rashford, and Sancho. Okay, so the main name that stuck out with me that's been left out there is Varane. I would hope he's not carrying an injury again, but God only bloody knows with Varane. So, look, obviously we have 2 games in 2 days as well. So we'll be back in Manchester for a game on the Sunday. So, look, I don't think it's massively important in relation to the squad we bring out. But look, I do think it's a decent squad that we're bringing out. I hope we can get game time into players that potentially haven't got it. But again, you would be looking at, getting a balance there in relation to getting game time into lads who haven't got game time. Also then potentially giving as much game time as you can to the first 11, the starters that could potentially be playing next weekend for our first game. So, it's going, and I would be, I think a lot of the players who will feature tomorrow against Atletico Madrid won't feature, obviously, then against Rayo, I can't pronounce that, Rayo Vallecano, I think, is that how you pronounce it? On Sunday. So look, it's going to be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to it. I'm just so happy we're back doing watch-alongs. And so we're basically back now. So we have 2 watch-alongs, one tomorrow, one Sunday, and then next weekend, bang, we're back. We're back. I have the new United jersey. It's ready to go. I haven't even put it on yet. I haven't taken it out of the bag. It's still in the bag. It's ready to go. And it's going to be coming out fresh next Sunday for the first league game of the season. I'm absolutely buzzing. I can't wait for it. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to be strutting around the house in it for the first couple of hours, and then watch a long time. So I can't wait. I really can't. So look, if you haven't already, Real Vallecano, says Johnny Boy. I appreciate it, Johnny Boy. Matthew says, thoughts on Mark Aldridge in the United stand? Yeah, I enjoy Mark Aldridge. I really do. He was the first kind of United fan channel that I started watching a few years back, and I do enjoy him. I think sometimes I go through phases of not watching him, because, especially this time of year, because it can get very, very negative. And it's always bad news. But I do like, I mean, he basically invented this platform. So, I do like him. So yeah, Mikey says, can I get the fantasy code off you, pal? Mikey, if you see the QR code on the homepage there, that's that's my link tree. So if you can scan that QR code, the fantasy football link is on my link tree. Okay. So go over there as well. Let me see, can I just find it real quick, and I'll throw it up on the screen. One sec here. Let me just see. You have chicken on in the oven for your lunch. She has chicken on. Sorry, my wife is here. I will turn it off when it beeps. Okay, I'll see you in a bit. Sorry about being rudely interrupted there. Let me just get this. Let me get this fantasy football league code, and I will throw it up in the group. There we go, and there we go. So there's the link. I'll pin it on the top of the chat there for you as well, Mikey. For anyone else who's watching, guys, as well, we have our link tree there. So anyone on TikTok, hit the link tree, and you'll see all of our links there as well. I'm after setting up a Discord group as well. Now, I reckon it's going to be a good one throughout the season. Bernard, thanks for the gift. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so make sure you join our Discord group as well. We have about 10 or 15 people in already, I think. There's some good conversations going on already in relation to Manchester United. We have different channels there. We have voice channels where people can put up their score predictions before games, you know, and the reactions to goals and stuff like that. So make sure you go over and join our Discord as well. Like I said, link is on the homepage of my TikTok, and anyone on YouTube, you can get my links there as well through scanning that QR code. So yeah, let's go through a few of the comments here, guys. Let me just scroll back on TikTok, and we'll see. Marcel is in from Holland. Good to see you, Marcel. Thanks for joining us. Let's see what other people are saying here. Do you think we can beat Atletico Madrid? I do think we can beat Atletico Madrid. Absolutely, I do. I think. I don't think it's overly important, again, the result. You would love to get a couple of positive results, you know, the week before we go into the start of the season, absolutely. But yeah, I certainly do. I certainly do think we can beat them, you know, absolutely. Wife reveal. Absolutely not. She wouldn't want to be on camera. Actually, she's been on one of my lives on YouTube, only very quickly, but no, she wouldn't want to be on camera. Any possibility on De Jong joining United, says Chris? Yeah, look, I think there is a good possibility, Chris. I think it's going to roll on for a long time, but I do think we'll get him over the line. User 438 is from Kenya and is in the house. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Need Dundalk to score at least 2 goals. Someone has an accumulator on, Johnny boy. Bernard is in from Ghana as well. Good to see you. Great to see so many people from all over the world, guys. Let's see. Anyone with any questions or any comments here? We have some Liverpool fans in. Greg's is in and says, you'll never walk alone. No updates on Greenwood, guys. No updates on Greenwood. Dadak says, all the way from Somalia, do you think Ronaldo will join Chelsea? No, I don't think so. I think that ship has set sail. I really do. Edward says, Ten Hag won't be there longer than 2 years. You'll never walk alone. Bro, you're winning nothing. Well, to be honest with you, Edward, I mean, you were the ones that had an open top bus parade for the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, so don't fucking talk to me, man. Banter! Fucking Carabao Cup and FA Cup, and you have an open top bus parade. Go away, we'll eat a fucking not be annoying me. All the way from Somalia. Yeah, we done that one. George says, joining you all the way from Ghana. Glory, glory, Man United. Collister says, you see Ronaldo playing in Rayo game? He is. He's there and he's ready to go. We have 999 subscribers according to Cottle. So anyone watching on YouTube, guys, that hasn't already done so, please hit that subscribe button for me. Anyone watching on TikTok as well, if you can, go onto my homepage. Click on the top left here. Go onto my homepage. There's a link there for the YouTube channel in my link tree. Please hit subscribe. It'll help the channel out an awful lot. Like I said, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So go over there and hit subscribe. We're doing the watch-alongs throughout the whole season on YouTube as well. So make sure you don't miss out on anything. Albie says, don't pick up the young one with the jersey on you before the watch-along, speaking from experience. Absolutely, Albie. and says, Atletico only out for a row as all dirtbags. I'd love to see us get one over on them, even in a pre-season. Absolutely. I don't know what it is about Atletico, and I think you're probably the same, Albi, as me. It's just the negativity of the way they play. I just think it's so bloody fucking annoying. You know, it's so annoying. Cottle says 1,000 subscribers. We've hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, guys. I can't thank you enough. It's brilliant. I'm so happy. Fair play to everyone who's subscribed. It's brilliant. Our goal was 1,000. When I first set out the goal of 1,000 subscribers, it was to reach it before Christmas. And then all of a sudden, everybody started to subscribe, and you know the positivity on the channel, and people are DMing me on Instagram and on TikTok and on Twitter as well, saying how much they're enjoying the content. So I'm really happy. I'm fair play. And look, the only reason I'm still doing it is because you've subscribed and you're enjoying the content. So I really appreciate it. It's all down to you. And look, I'm going to continue doing this as long as you want me to do it. So look, I really appreciate the nice words and the subscribers and the follows and all that as well. And we have people from all over the world. I was looking at the analytics on YouTube the other day, and it blew my mind. There was 14 different cities in Vietnam where people were watching me at some point, which is just blew my mind. So I really appreciate it, everyone. I really do, guys. So thanks a lot. Right, let's go through a few more comments before we go. Fair play to you, lad. Now let's get 4K watch hours. Now, yeah, look, I think we're closing in. I think we're about. I'm nearly sure we're about 3,000 watch hours, so we're not too far off of that either. But look, I think once the watch alongs come, they'll be about 3 hours long anyway. So if people are watching, it shouldn't be long about shooting up. Magajalicious is in from Johannesburg in South Africa. Thanks for joining, man. You're more than welcome. Let's see what people are saying here. The manager, Jack, all down to him. A-team is to be a reflection of their manager and certainly are of theirs. Absolutely, Albi, I agree with you there. I'm so happy with this manager. I really am. Whatever about, you know, results, and results will come and go, you know, and it's not going to be plain sailing forever. But reading today, and I've done a TikTok about it as well, so anyone who's following me on TikTok more than likely would have seen it. Manchester United have changed the dugout. So they've switched the home dugout with the away dugout because Ten Hag obviously realised that it's closer to the area where the Manchester United players warm up, and also it's bang on the halfway line. If you ever notice in Old Trafford, the Manchester United's home dugout is about 10 yards into the half of the half, say, the opposite to the Stretford end. So he's after moving the dugout to the away side now. So the away dugout is now the home dugout. And I just love this kind of stuff. I really do. And Ten Hag said he wanted it done. And the board said, yep, okay, no problem, off you go. So I think it's brilliant. I really do. And look, do I think it'll make a massive difference? Time will tell. But I love this kind of stuff with Ten Hag. I really do. Albi says, any news on the podcast? So I haven't got any news on it yet, Albi, because I'm still trying to convince a few guys to do it with me. I want to do it with some of my friends, but they're a bit shy and they won't do it on camera. So what I was planning on doing was doing the podcast live on YouTube, and then, you know, obviously taking the audio and putting it up on the likes of Spotify and Apple podcasts and things like that. So I'm working on it. I might not get it set up by the first game of the season, but I'll certainly keep you updated on it. Generally what I'm thinking of doing with it is it'll just be a roundup of Manchester United news after each weekend and how the game went, and then we'll do a general overview of the Premier League and the results, and, you know, league positions and things like that. And, you know, so that's the plan. It's a work in progress at the moment. I have a platform that I'm potentially looking to do it on, and they allow you to go live on their platform as well, where you can actually have live callers call in and give their opinions and stuff like that, which is something that I would love to do. So I could get the likes of Ollie to actually call in and give your opinion on, you know, the game and the weekend in general and stuff like that. So I'm working on it, but I'll certainly let you know as time goes on, and when I get close to actually getting it set up. Hopefully I can get it up and running in the next maybe month or so. But I need to convince a few of my mates to actually do it, you know. Look, guys, I'm going to leave it there. It's been a great watch along. It really, or not a watch along. It's been a great transfer talk show. We've had some good updates. I appreciate everyone who's put comments in, who's liked, who's shared, who's subscribed. We've got 1,000 subscribers. We've hit the 1,000 subscriber mark on YouTube. So I really appreciate everyone who's done it. Anyone who's watching, if you haven't already done so, especially on YouTube, please take a second and hit that like button. There's 60 people watching at the moment, and we have 31 likes. So please just take a second, hit that like button. It helps out the channel an awful lot. And subscribe as well. We're going to be doing loads and loads of content throughout the season now. Like I said, the watch-alongs are tomorrow and Sunday. So anyone watching on TikTok as well, make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel. The link tree is on my homepage. You'll be able to subscribe to all of my social media platforms, and as well to anyone on TikTok. The link for our Fantasy Premier League is on my link tree on my homepage as well. So if you're playing Fantasy Premier League, FPL, make sure you click on the link tree on my homepage, and the link is there for you to join our league as well. So let's try and get as many people as we can in, and join our Discord as well. I have a channel set up on our Discord for FPL as well, so you can talk all things about, you know, who you're bringing into your team, who you're taking out your team week on week and stuff like that. So make sure you join our Discord as well, guys. There's some good chats going on already, even though there's only maybe 10 or so people in it. So make sure you're going over there and joining as well. Lads, it's been great. I really appreciate it. We've hit 1,000 subscribers, so I'm so happy. Thanks to everybody who subscribed. Like I said, you know, I'm going to continue doing this as long as you want it. If you have any ideas about different kinds of content you would like, absolutely, you know, potentially maybe down the line we could set up maybe a members channel for people who want some extra content specifically for that as well. So look, I'm open to all suggestions, guys. So you can DM me on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok. But look, I really appreciate it, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Like I said, I think it's 1:45. The kickoff is between United and Atletico Madrid tomorrow. So we're doing a watch along. So we're going to be going live at noon, 12 o'clock. So anyone who's watching, it'll be 12 o'clock UK time. We're doing our watch along. So make sure you're joining for that. I'll have the thumbnail up on YouTube maybe tomorrow morning about 10 o'clock, so you can join. Hit the like button. You can hit it early before we even go live. You can hit the like button, so make sure you're doing that as well, guys. Look, it's been great. I really appreciate it. Thanks everyone for joining, and for anyone who's joining tomorrow, I'll see you then. Man United.